two pieces of feedback that were really good on Friday. A guy who said that I am a very good presenter, very vivacious. The other piece of feedback that was very valuable is from the guy who actually paid for everything, who said that would prefer for it to be a bit more boring, a bit closer to what these people do in their day jobs. Now I have a week to prepare for the Redux workshop, to be less, wow, this is so cool, and more, this is how you would actually use this in your day job. So I think a 2-hour run would be perfect to figure out how to do that. Here's the plan for this week. Tonight I'm gonna implement a simple ticket listing, e-commerce, website, web app sort of thingy, and then I'm gonna have 4 days to prepare a workshop about it. They asked me to have a more boring example than shiny, dancing syntax, Pythagoras trees and things like that. So I'm gonna make something that is very geared towards what they do every day. So I'm very behind schedule for Friday because I wanted to build the entire example app last night, and I didn't get super far because instead I got stuck trying to figure out how Redux sagas work, and I know how they work now, but I just don't think they're that useful. I am still very far behind, but I think the demo app is starting to look kind of okay. It doesn't really do much yet, but look. You click fetch events, and it fetches events from StubHub. Now I'm gonna add some filtering and then the ability to add them to your shopping cart and stuff like that. It's gonna be great, I think. But most importantly, I started using a new to-do system so that I don't get as confused and I get some fire under ass. Now I know this doesn't look like much, it's very thin, but it's a lot to get done in a week. I don't know if you can see how hazy it is around here, but Morgan isn't letting me go to the gym because of the bad air quality due to the fires up in Sonoma.
Again, we have our Wilson Walker live for us in Napa County right now as we continue our coverage of these fires burning in Napa and Sonoma counties. At least 5 fires that broke out.
And down here in San Francisco, we're just getting a lot of ash and smoke, so our lungs have been kind of hurting a little bit from breathing, and a lot of gyms have actually completely closed down to prevent people from working out.
Just let me know.
Check out all this smoke in the air. This is 10 a.m. on Wednesday. I basically finished the new workshop example for Friday last night. Man, I am so far behind. The example is basically done. I am 100% certain it's going to be way too complicated and far too ambitious for us to actually finish it during the workshop on Friday. But you know, that's what they asked for. They wanted something more. Because I was reading the feedbacks people submitted last night, and I don't know, man. Most of them are pretty positive, so people are saying, yeah, they learned a lot, the pacing was okay, but a lot of them were like, I wasn't expecting to code so much. Like, dude, you're going to a coding workshop, what did you expect, me to just lecture for 7 hours? And you, like, what are you gonna learn if I just lecture you for 7 hours? I just go through slides and talk. We should do less work, you should guide us through everything. I don't want to think about things and code. Like, of course I'm gonna ask you to code something for yourself, and then I'm gonna show you how to do it. How are you gonna learn anything if you don't try? If you're just following along what somebody else is doing, you're not gonna learn anything. So it's Thursday morning, and I have a pretty big problem. I'm still not done. The done pile is still a lot shorter than the do pile, which is it's not that great, you know? So I wasn't able to finish what I wanted to write this morning because I think it still needs to gestate a little bit more. So instead I prepared the starter repo for everyone to start with, and I fixed images in my workshop presentation, so that's great. And I wrote a huge outline. I think I almost definitely went off the deep end when it comes to how much I want everyone to build, because they were complaining that examples were too simple. I I decided to get some sleep last night after all. You know, it's better to be rested at the workshop than to be super tired and have a bunch of copy written. Oh wow, it's already almost 8. But I was able to get up and finish the last to-do item. Well, not the last one. The last important one, and stub out the practical part of the workshop, so we should be ready to go. I was gonna go for a run after the workshop today, considering I can actually smell the smoke. Maybe it's not the best idea to go for a run today. What do you think? The good news is, I think this workshop, so I think the second day of the workshop went a lot better than the first one did. I adjusted my format I adjusted both my format and my example code based on the feedback that they gave me. So the example code was a lot closer to what they do in their normal day-to-day lives, and the format was a lot less them doing stuff, a lot less me just saying, hey, do this, try to figure it out, and then I'm gonna show you what it is. Instead of doing all of that, and also instead of having a bunch of prepared materials, I just kind of winged the whole thing, and it essentially ended up being like the live coding stuff that I do every Sunday, except for 5 hours of live coding. We had things stubbed out, then I coded it up, and I talked while I was coding it, and then I said, okay, now I left small blank spaces for you to fill in. And then they filled them in, and then I explained them and filled them in some more. I do stuff, get them to the next step, tell them, now try something. They tried something, then I filled it up, and then we went to the next step. And that seems to have worked really well. A lot of people today said that they were very happy with the format and that this workshop was a lot better than the previous workshop. I guess I'm gonna keep this format, even though it feels like it's not teaching them enough, or it's not teaching them as much as it could have, because they're not spending as much time actively thinking about it. But it does have the benefit of keeping pace better, and also they don't feel as lost and they feel more accomplished, which I guess is a good thing. I guess one of the main things, if you want to have happy workshop attendees, is to give people the sense of achievement.